Hi, welcome to It's Time to Review Something. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to my Time to Review. Today is September the 12th. Yesterday is September 11th. May we never forget that day and let it live on. But anyway, so September 11th, went out on my first major ride with my chapter, the Borderline Southern Cruisers, chapter 284, using my Insta 360 only, okay? What I discovered is I opened up the little door like we talked about before when it was hooked to my bike. I hooked the plug in to the USB plug, which ran across my handlebars, and plugged it in the entire trip, kept the battery charged. So the 5, 6, 7 hours I was out, never had to change the battery, which was perfect for me. Perfect. So how did I manage all this? Well, first of all, you turned it on. I'm going to turn it backwards. Hopefully I can see this thing, right? As you can turn it on. So as I'm riding, the red light that stays on, or the green light saying that it's charged, right? So then all I would do is just hit record, right? And then I'd see my little flashing red light up here in the corner. That would tell me that I was recording. And I'd ride it probably 15, 20 seconds, maybe a minute or two. Then I would shut it off, right? As you can see, it goes green. But then my green light comes back on, or blue, excuse me. And I still have the LCD on. Well, what I found out is if I just click it once, just click it, it shuts off the monitor so I can save the screen a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then all I had to do was reach over there again, push record, and it would come back on and just start recording. I didn't have to turn the power switch back on. So if you ride a bike or anything else, you just got to remember, man, this thing was so simple to use going down the road. So that brings me to the hardest part, editing. And I got my little notes here for an update here for y'all. Editing in the process takes a little bit longer than my normal hour that I sat there with the contour room. But the quality of the video is by far more. The imagination you can do with the video was by far more. Some of the downfalls that I didn't like, every time I started it, it would always face me just like you are. And then I'd have to move it to the front where I can see the front of the bike and the people in front of me. But then I noticed that it would go 360, or it would just loop back and forth, and it was driving me bonkers until I learned how to use it. So for the first 3 hours, last night when I got back, it was a learning curve from hell, okay? So what I learned to do, and I showed you that in the video a little bit here in a second, and I'm gonna put it here, on the files anyway, is right here. What I want to do here a little bit is bring you in on how I keep track of this video stuff here. I talked about it a minute ago, but let me show you what I do. Before I save it, and let me go ahead and clear this out here. I find my clip, right? And I want to export it. I come over here to the export button in the top button over here, the yellow one, and I export it. And then I give it a name. Say like I just did, 84, right? But I'm unsure where I left off at. But what I wind up doing is I keep my photos open on this side of the screen, and then I keep my videos. As you can see, I left off on 84. So I'd actually have to change my number here to 85 to keep in sequence for what I'm doing. As you can see, I'm not going to bother with exporting on this one. I just finished this clip. And we're going to talk about the review here and return you back to myself over here when we do the review. So after that, what I've also noticed was that I could only move the 79 clips into my the thing, and I'm like, wow, I got 236 of them. Well, come to find out, when I went to click it the first time and saved it, it put it right back on the card, or back in my files. And again, right? So it was repeating itself. So the original 79 were the only ones that were going to show up on my monitor or my screen for me to play with in the Insta 360 Studio 2021. Which worked out pretty good because I wound up getting 4 videos that are on YouTube under, I'm just going to put one of them down there and then you can kind of follow it if you want to. Anyway, that was really simple. Once I started learning it, that as it starts, stop it. And then what I really like is the trim bars on the sides. You click it, brings it over here like so. And then I would hit the keyframe, which is the little circle. And then I would move it to the front and then I would say lock position and it would stay that way the entire time until I cut it again, exported it, and saved the files, okay? And then I would repeat the process over and over and over. That's why it's gonna take so long. Now here's the thing about exporting it. And once again, you'll see it in the video here, in the earlier video. And what you're gonna do, I save my files, boom, I give it a number, 1, 2, whatever number I got up to 114 videos on that thing. So what I would do is save it, lower it down, see where I was at, raise it back up and add the name or the number for that. Along the process, I was also, if I saw a nice shot, and right here, I'm inserting it, I would click it and use the snapshot feature on the bottom, which is a little camera, and insert and just take different photos as I was riding. So I didn't have to hold my camera and try to take still pictures. Usually my wife's on the back, she takes a picture, so I don't worry about that. But when I'm by myself, that worked out pretty good for some features, but it's not as good as the DSLR as far as taking a snapshot or something, but it did happen to work over pretty good, right? So I got over that using, you have to have time and patience when you use this stuff, especially at 63. Sorry, I am an old fart, but you younger people probably got it more so than I do. So anyway, you file it, you do it using the framing and such and forth. I got to keep up with my notes, by the way. Yeah. And when I left off last night, I also marked it. See, I left off at number 50. That was the film clip 50 out of 79. And we talked about the bike power and everything like that one. Now here's the thing. I got a bigger monitor coming. I got a 32-inch LG monitor to go with my thing. So if you can open up 2 windows at once, keep one in the middle and open up the different windows, that'll help you keep track of your videos and putting them together. You got to remember, I just took 6-7 hour ride and I condensed it down to half hour's worth of videos, maybe probably a little over half hour because there's 4 of them. But to me, that's what I love to do. I love the ride videos. I love the videos and I put music to the videos, and so far it's been copyrighted, but YouTube downplayed the quality of the video down to 360 and I didn't like that. Most of my videos are on my link are all high resolution, okay? When you're on the Insta 360 Studio 2021, the minute you log off, log back on, your files are gone. I don't care if they're in the folder on your computer, it's empty. And it's best to remember where you left off at. And unlike my iMovie or my Lightroom, it doesn't bring back up where I left off. So it was a game of playing in my head and writing down where I went down there, right? Like I said, it'll take you a while to get used to the new. Short clips, take a long movie and then I break them into shorter clips and export the clips as I go. That's the only way you can do it. Today I played with the shadow clone. I'm going to actually put that at the end of this video for the fun of it because I think it's funny as hell. I've never done that, but it was funny anyway. I will never do it again. It's just something I don't do. It's a feature, just like cloning, you know, where you saw me walk before. This one here is the actual shadow clone. I actually did it today just for the fun because my friend says he's funny to watch. So, so anyway, when you export it, give it a file name. Also make sure you make a separate folder to send it in there, right? Like I said, I love the clarity. It's just getting a lot easier for me to do and play with. I'm hoping you guys get out there and use the Insta360 1R because this is a remarkable little camera. I had my doubts, you know, just the test rides didn't really do anything because it was a short period of time, but I did enjoy it. And remember, I had to modify it. You can see the 2 nuts on top. And believe it or not, that made it a lot easier going down the road. Click, click, click. And this thing was shaking, by the way, on my handlebars. At the end, it was shaking. But the stabilization in this thing was fantastic. I asked GoPro if they wanted me to test one of theirs. I haven't heard anything back from them. Other people have used GoPro Max as the 360, but my money's on this one here. So I think this will be the last review that I do on it. Unless you have questions, you can ask me. I did get my battery booster in here, so I don't need the case for the other one if I want to play it that way. But I just wanted to get with you and bring you up to my final review on this camera and where I stand. And I'm happy. I'm very, very happy with this camera. So, ladies and gentlemen, until my next time to review, I want you to enjoy yourself. If you got questions, ask me. Thumbs up if you like me. Thumbs down if you don't. Subscribe, hopefully. I'm actually up to 400 plus subscription members. I think that's remarkable because I never planned on getting that far. Excuse my attire. It's a Sunday afternoon and I just don't feel like getting all dressed up for anything, okay? So, in that note, have a good day and enjoy your fall coming up because leaves are starting to change. Get out and video, get out and take pictures, post them on YouTube. I'd love to see them too. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching my channel.